So, Hades 2 came out about a week ago, and I intended to have this video ready to go this past weekend, but something not so unexpected happened. I couldn't put the game down. That's right. Most of my free time over the last 7 days has gone to playing Supergiant's long-awaited sequel. I even woke up extra early on launch day to find out that it wasn't available until 11 a.m. my time.
Cool. Cool.
That's a lie.
Anyways, I wanted to take some time to talk about my thoughts so far. This is by no means a full review, as there's so much more to see and do in this game, and I'm not interested in rushing the experience. I'll also keep this as spoiler-free as possible to preserve the experience for everyone. Yes, I'll ask them. That was my dog Sam, telling me to remind all of you that if you find yourself enjoying this video and want to see more gaming content, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Sam has been pushing me for quite some time to start creating content, and I would really hate to disappoint him. Believe me, you don't want to see him when he's upset. With that said, let's jump in. So let's start with a little more context. Hades 2 is a big deal because it's the very first sequel Supergiant has ever made. The original Hades back in 2020 was a huge hit. It redefined the roguelite genre and cemented itself among the greatest games of all time for a lot of people, myself included. Going in, my expectations were high. I already made a video about my thoughts on the first Hades, so I won't go too in-depth here, but it had such a perfect blend of fast combat, incredible character development, and that addicting run-based loop. I wondered, could they really recapture the magic without just repeating themselves? Or would they try to layer on too many new ideas to overcomplicate the rhythm they perfected before? One thing was for sure, I couldn't wait to find out. Let's start with combat, because that's where most of our time as the player is spent. On the surface, it feels just as tight and responsive as before. Dashing, running, and weaving through attacks, Supergiant has nailed the satisfying flow again. The biggest change you'll notice early on is the magic system. Melinoë has a dedicated cast meter, and you can use it to unleash powered-up attacks as well as bind enemies in place. Instead of dashing in and spamming the attack button, the game pushes you to think about spacing, timing, and when to use your magical abilities. It's a subtle shift, but it changes the rhythm and takes some time to get used to. The cast meter makes ranged combat so much more important. Melee is still there, and it's fun, but it's clear that the magic is central to Melinoë's identity. Each weapon has its own distinct playstyle and can be augmented with various boons and upgrades via the returning Daedalus Hammer. And there's also new progression systems that offer more depth on how you choose to approach each run. I've already created some incredible builds that feel broken in the best kind of way. It feels like the possibilities are endless, and I can't wait to see some of the synergies people create online. Of course, Hades was never just about the gameplay. The writing and the characters are what kept people coming back for more, and I'm happy to say that Hades 2 is no different. I was worried I was going to miss Zagreus, but playing as Melinoë is great. She's different in many ways, a little more serious and brooding, but still instantly likable. The story carries a much heavier tone right out of the gate, and the evolving conversations in between each run are just as effective as before. Every one of the characters you meet, both returning and new, feel distinct, with fantastic voice acting and dialogue that actually reacts to your choices and progress. I mentioned this in my Hades video, but I'm not really upset when a run ends. I can't wait to return to camp and interact with everybody to unfold more about the world around me. On top of that, the world is gorgeous. The art is still that hand-drawn, painterly style, but it feels even more refined. And what about the music? Darren Korb has done it again, y'all. These boss fights especially. I won't spoil it here, but I have had the same boss theme replaying in my head for the last several days, and it will probably still be there a few weeks to come. You may assume this to be a bad thing. You would be incorrect. So, narratively and atmospherically, Hades 2 absolutely lives up to the original, and maybe even surpasses it. But I'm not ready to commit to that just yet. One of the biggest questions I had going into this was, will it have that same just one more run mentality? I'm happy to report the answer is a resounding yes. I've already found myself saying that exact phrase a few nights long after I should have been asleep. Without giving away too much, your goals for each run can change based off of what you choose, which keeps the experience feeling fresh for longer. Adding in the variety of weapons, boons, and other unlockable items give the player a great deal to experiment with. Progression between runs also feels meaningful as you use gathered resources to upgrade weapons and skills, and offer gifts to each character to deepen your bonds, unlocking new dialogue and slowly unraveling more about the story. Honestly, I'm super impressed they managed to create a sequel so ambitious and beautiful that retains so much about what made the original so special. But these have just been some of my early thoughts on Hades 2. Honestly, the highest praise I can give it is that I wish I were playing it right now, and I don't see that feeling going away anytime soon. But I want to hear from you. Have you started Hades 2 yet? What do you think of the game so far? Are there any broken builds that you've found? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, Sam would love it if you hit like, subscribed, and rang the notification bell so you don't miss new videos like this one. Bye for now.